Now, say my name.
Heisenberg.
You're goddamn right.
Welcome to the new and improved Rational Mail. Today we are going to talk about the Alpha Widow. We're going old school. We're going remedial. We're going Red Pill 101 days here. What is an Alpha Widow? You keep asking me about this. Do you even know where that term came from? I think a lot of us think we do. All right. Hey. Welcome. Hopefully this won't be too long a form. There we go. All right, that's enough of that. What do you think of the new production value here in the studio? Up my game a little bit, added a little color in the background there. Give some visual interest, I guess. Yes, this is my pirate look. Sorry. Yeah, whatever. Criticize my look all you want. How do I look cool like you, Rollo? I should. I should go on Amazon and grab my clothes for every show and put them on as my affiliate links. That would be funny. See if people can match the Rollo link. Then I'd go out to conventions or something like that, and people would dress up. They'd be like me. They'd look like freaking Pirates of the Caribbean. No. Anyways, today we are going to be talking about the Alpha Widow. This is a term actually that I coined, me, Rollo Tomasi, way back in the day. I have been noticing recently in the manosphere what passes for the manosphere today. A lot of guys are sort of re-hitting or rekindling or trying to hit on old topics to sort of prove their red pill cred. And nothing wrong with that. The red pill, as far as I'm concerned, is still open source. So please continue to do so. But I think that every now and then I kind of have to step up here and give you a Red Pill 101 lesson. And there's a few topics that are like this. When people start hammering on about mental point of origin, that's one of mine. They start hammering on about war brides or the war brides dynamic, another one of mine. Also Alpha Widow is another term that if you have read the first book, which you can see right here, you will already be familiar with the idea of the Alpha Widow, also the idea of the war brides dynamic as well, or you cannot negotiate genuine desire. Bang! There's another one that's something I coined a long time ago. Again, not claiming ownership of it. You can have it, whatever. I mean, feel free to disseminate as you will, but I feel like every now and then I got to provide some clarification. So that's what today is going to be about. Now, as I was saying before, I've written quite a bit about the Alpha Widow. I'm going to show you just briefly here real quickly what I'm talking about. The very first instance of me talking about the Alpha Widow was in an essay that I wrote called The Slut Paradox. And I will show you right about, that's not it. Hold on. Oh, that is it, isn't it? Oh, here we go. Well, let's move down a little bit more. These are, no, this is it. There we go. Can you guys see that well enough? Let's see. My bad. Oh, I went to the wrong tab. Forgive me. One second here real quick. Let me switch over. That was the search thing. I would need to get to the actual slut paradox. There we are. Okay, so this right here is from, where do we go? Here we go. This is great. I actually quoted Andrew Dice Clay on Andrew Dice Clay a bit that he did back in the day. Now, this was from January 6, 2012, courtesy of me, the Slut Paradox. You can. I'm going to put these in the description, so if you want to go and have a read, this is actually a pretty short read. But it was here in 2012 that I came up with the idea of, the terminology, anyways, of Alpha Widow. So I have to explain exactly what the alpha widow is. Alpha widow is something that a lot of guys had been talking about back, gosh, even before I was writing about this. We were having discussions about this in, let's see, where was it? I could stop that now. We were having discussions about this phenomenon where these guys would have a wife or a girlfriend or maybe even a girl that they were trying to sort of get with, right? They were making their efforts to sarge the girl, right? And she seemed preoccupied. Like they couldn't sort of make any headway with the girl because she was too hung up on a previous boyfriend. And that was the earliest instance of noticing this phenomenon, which is now called the alpha widows phenomenon or dynamic, whatever you want to call it. And it was at that time when we were having these discussions. This was back in the early days of So Suave and alt fast seduction, the gamer era, right? The PUA era. And guys were comparing notes and saying, she's too hung up on her ex, right? I don't want to be the rebound guy. That was another one. Then what was happening is there were guys who were already in long-term relationships, LTRs, and they were noticing a very similar phenomenon in that they caught their girlfriend or they caught their wife talking to an old boyfriend, or she just can't get over her ex. And that sort of, it triggered something in me, right? I was like, okay, well, why is this a commonality? And it was like across the board. It didn't matter if you were married, you had a girlfriend, you were single and you're trying to get with a girl. There was always this dynamic of this sort of the one that got away. And it was at this time, and I swear this is God honest truth. It was right about this time that Katy Perry had come out with that song called "The One That Got Away." You can go look that up on YouTube. I've also linked it. I'll link it in another essay here too. I actually wrote an essay called "The One That Got Away," and that's kind of what developed into what would become the alpha widows dynamic that we now kind of just take for granted. It's like one of these red pill. I'll say truisms, right? Whatever. It's like a red pill maxim. Let's just call it that. And it's the idea that women get hung up on a previous alpha or a previous boyfriend. And they just can't get over that guy. And there's a lot more to it than just, she got with that guy. She had sex with that guy and she can't get over the fact that he was the best that she ever had. That's definitely part of it, part of the alpha widows dynamic, but there's so much more that goes along with that. Okay. So I have to remember what the term really implies. So we're looking at the guy who was the apex. He was the guy who answered the question, is he the best I can do? Whether it's true or it's not is irrelevant. It's the perception that it is true. It's the perception that the guy that she was her boyfriend in college that she couldn't lock down, or maybe she's even had his kid, that she couldn't lock down that guy, and he becomes the benchmark. He's the metric by which she measures all other guys past that. Now, Chris Rock actually had a bit or a comedy bit about this, and he was talking about how women cannot go back. They cannot go backwards in lifestyle, and men cannot go backwards in sex. So if a woman gets with a guy and he's rich and he provides for her and he's got a house and he's got this kind of car, the next boyfriend that she has that's not that guy has to provide, the minimum has to be that. That sets the benchmark for the next guy. Now, that's true, but again, we're talking early Chris Rock before he's divorced, right? And we're also looking at only one side of hypergamy because hypergamy plays a huge part in the alpha widow dynamic. This is something that a lot of guys who are like mouthing off about this, this dynamic right now really fail to grasp. It's much easier to throw it out there as sort of this red meat, right? It's indignation. Well,